Bawumia's latest promise. Please play it for me. Then I ask Malik so that we can just quickly wrap up on that.
We will make access to mobile phones affordable. And the mobile companies, you're betting Kataho. Now the mobile phones, I'm a nipa, not Mafia, 1 city, 2 cities, 1 city, 2 cities, Kakaka, Namotia, mobile phone before 80, scheme every Obia, because we need everybody to have a smart device. We will make it easy for people.
And Malik, you look at what now the refrain is, the promises on the campaign platforms, what had been said before: one village, one dam, one district, one factory. Even constituencies were expected to be getting $1 million, etc. And even now we'll be getting phones on credit, etc. What lies ahead? Just 4 months, 5 months to this election, knowing that this is the state of the economy, Malik.
You see, first of all, when I first heard this tape, I heard it in audio form, not video.
You heard it
in audio form,
okay,
not video. So I was listening to it on radio, and I couldn't believe that a human being will speak like this. I couldn't.
Why not?
No,
it's possible.
I couldn't.
I'm told that abroad we have contract phones. MTN even started some time ago.
Campaigns are meant to either formulate policy whilst listening to the people or exhibit your manifesto. So it's either you go on a listening tour like President Mahama did, or you go and exhibit your manifesto, tell the people what you are going to do for them. For once, Dr. Bawumia should pretend to forget about the lavish life he, together with his sister Laraba, he appointed as gender minister. His brother Mumuni Bawumia, he appointed at the Interior Ministry. His wife's father, Abu Ramadan's father, he appointed as ambassador. His wife's brother, Abu Ramadan, he appointed as deputy NADMO CEO. He should forget of the lives they are living, for once, and focus on the people who were there at the Deba to listen to him. Look, as we speak now, Roland, the people of Krugu in Bawumia's hometown, the rains have started. They are waiting for them to spill the Bagre Dam, and it will consume all their houses. Those people from July, August, September will start living in classrooms. Why? Because the Bagre Dam has been spilled. The money that was supposed to be used to build the Palugu irrigation dam, they have chopped 12 million of it and have done nothing. If those people had tuned in to listen to Bawumia, does Bawumia think that their immediate need is a smartphone? As we speak now, a teacher and a Ghanaian worker who was paid at the end of last month has finished consuming his salary. He is praying to God that God will take him through till the next payday. If that teacher was listening to the head of economic management team, it's his need a smartphone on credit. NAPCO trainees are seated in the house. They have not been paid for 18 months till their dismissal. And till date, they have been crying for their alawa. You think their next policy they want to hear is for them to take smartphones on credit? No, contractors, unpaid contractors. Just say a contractor tuned in his TV and saw Bawumia. He says, let me listen to the head of economic management team. You think that unpaid contractor of millions is thinking of acquiring a smartphone on credit? No. School feeding caterers who are not paid, they have been crying at the education ministry, knocking at their doors. You think what they think is taking a phone on credit? Teachers and nurses have graduated training college. They have not been posted. More than 4 batches have not been posted. They are sitting in the house. Look, I have a friend, a student nurse friend, who had to sell her phone. Her phone, she sold it in order to survive small, until God or John Mahama comes into power. She sold her iPhone she was using. Because and Dr. Bawumia thinks that the immediate need of that student is to go back again and take a phone on credit. How will we even buy credit to use the phone? Look, he was in Solar, that's Savannah region. The people cannot buy fertilizer. A bag of fertilizer today goes for almost 800 Ghana cedis. Fertilizer. Condemn. Do you know condemn? Weedicides. They use weedicides to farm. The rains have started, June, July. By now, everybody in the north is planting. And all they need is fertilizer. And you stand before these people, and all you open your mouth to say is that take smartphone on credit. Bondholders have not been paid. Pensioners are dying every day. Go to Kolebu. They cannot buy drugs. Because of you, Bawumia, your wickedness and insensitivity. You have to restructure their loans, their bonds. And today they have not been paid. They die on a daily basis.
But it's done
not
abroad,
because they were
contract
irresponsible
phones,
men.
Malik.
Not because they were irresponsible men. Because they lived good lives. And at a point, they had a bad, insensitive, visionless leader like Akufo-Addo and Bawumia. Look, the biggest regret Ghana ever had is Dr. Bawumia as head of economic management team. And will go down in history to regret his choice of even being vice president. Because it appears as if he goes around adding pain to our current crisis. If Dr. Bawumia gets any platform, the only thing he will do is, Mama Mistiano, then a child will be shouting, Boaben, Boaben, then he will be pressing the horn. Or he will stand and promise things you wonder. And I'm sure by now he read it from a textbook. He just saw it.
No, but it cannot be fair. But Malik,
because it does not meet our demand. Let me tell you, you asked a fantastic question. That is done
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is pursuing a digitalization agenda.
Okay.
So the policy to make sure everybody gets onto that platform and then in sync is to make sure you provide the devices.
So after I get onto that platform, I'll buy fertilizer to put on my crops. After I get onto that platform, it will stop Ghana from importing onions to a tune of 3.3 million. You ask that abroad, they do it. At the time abroad implemented this policy, they were not under haircuts. They were not under an IMF condition. Their people, their unemployment rate was not 14.7%. 1.8 million of their youth were not unemployed on the streets. In fact, at the time they were implementing policies like this, they were posting their teacher trainees and their nursing trainees. Go to the UK. They have recruited their people to the extent that they now recruit Ghanaians.
Malik,
go to the airport and see the number of people who leave this country. Look, Roland, I think that we must advise Dr. Bawumia to be serious. For once, he should listen to President Mahamad's campaign. When President Mahama met you journalists at Kempiski, look at the brilliant policies he was professing. At a point, I could see joy in the faces of well-meaning Ghanaians. He said, we'll implement a 24-hour economy. That's going to create jobs, that's going to leverage our economy, and that's going to boost productivity in this country. He said, we're going to build refineries in mining areas, and I'll land on this. That's going to create jobs and also help us finish our raw products. This is a man who understands the crisis we find ourselves in. But Dr. Bawumia today has suddenly become one jocular person. If he doesn't lie, then he jokes. If he doesn't joke, he appears very non-serious. And look, I thought that lies had no limit. But Dr. Bawumia has proven to us that when you lie and lie
giving
and lie
phones to people to access information and then also undertake transactions cannot be a policy that is bad.
So, so it's a good policy for you.
I'm saying.
So is it a good policy for you?
I'm the one asking the question.
I'm also asking you. Is it a good policy for you?
Dr.
Yantiche, Dr.
Yantiche,
you understand it.
At the end of the day, have we come to a point where perhaps we have to prioritize what the needs of the people are and then make the policy propositions in sync with them?
Exactly. We are in that direction, straight out. Yes. The needs of the people. Otherwise, why the government?
It's simple.
Yeah. We seek our needs.
Get closer to the mic for me.
So whatever the government is doing must be the priority of the people. Otherwise, nothing. Yeah, we don't need. Yeah. If you come and I don't have that comfort, then obviously...
What do you think should be the basic needs that should be prioritized in policy? Especially that should be coming from the vice president, the presidential candidate, and as a vice president also doubles as the head of government's economic management team, and then the other candidates, including Alan Kojo Chemanting and then also John Dramani Mahama.
In fact, in every country, health first.
Okay, I'm writing it down.
Yes.
Yes.
In every country, health. Then education.
Education.
And then obviously the job.
Fantastic.
Jobs.
Yes.
Opportunities
for
jobs.
Everybody.
So the economy should be fertile enough, growing to create jobs.
To create
Fantastic.
jobs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Now when you satisfy these things, In fact, the people themselves will grow. They themselves will see everything. Now, this mobile phone issue, in fact,
What phone are you using?
it's iPhone.
You are using, you're a lecturer, you're highly paid. So, let's take, for example, Dr. Bawumia is saying, saying that he wants basic phone. Basic phone
normally won't work. If you need technology, obviously, then the basic phone doesn't help.
So it has to be high end.
Yes, but I think it's the service.
So you're saying 1 CD, 2 CD won't cut it?
No, it's the service providers' issue. Yeah, service providers, they have to provide the phones that will meet the standard in the normal days, so that anybody working, you just go for your contract phone, and then you'll be using it. You make it as common to everybody. Then I don't know how the government is going to provide all these things to us. No, the service providers are supposed to do that job straight away. So seek the health of the people, make sure education is priority, it comes high, and then
you create the jobs when the economy is good.
Yeah.
If you do an overall assessment over the last 10 years, do you think that we have postulated or communicated policies on campaign platforms for which in governments have woefully been poorly implemented?
Of course.
Which are? Come closer to them,
Yeah, all policies are good.
Okay.
But all policies that they are propounded to pursue are good.
You mean on paper?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But in realities, they are not able to accomplish it. And that is our problem, because we don't take them into account. Nobody. So whichever government comes will say whatever will meet the need. Will say what the people want to hear, and after that is the end of the story. Yeah. Because all the things that they have said they will be doing, yeah, they are fantastic. But it doesn't meet, at the end of the day, we don't see the realities coming.
Nani Sapon. The policy good on paper, GTP, I have it, very good. And the academics are saying that...
And you read it?
The document is fantastic.
Simple English.
Very simple English.
Achievable?
By his question, as an academic and then as somebody who also consults for industry, etc., he says that we haven't been good at implementation of what we espouse in our documents and our manifestos on the campaign platforms.
I clearly agree with him. Right. Now, any good policy document like we have in the Great Transformational Plan submitted by Alan Shomaten, any good policy, you would agree with me, should be simple, straightforward, should have an implementation strategy, it should have a monitoring and evaluation procedure, and then it should have a review system. This is simple, and the Great Transformational Plan has it, and that's why I asked if you have read it, because if you have read it, then you would understand and agree with me that it is in its simple nature. Hey, say go for no manifesto. When are you bringing yours?
Oh,
Alaji says August. You to August.
Yeah, okay.
You see the volume nature of the document they're going to put out there. Roland, you have been in the game for a long time. Is this not the simplest of a policy document any political organization has ever presented to you?
But all manifestos have...
The People's Manifesto.
People's Manifesto.
Actually, all manifestos have been very simple.
No, let's be real.
Our manifesto.
If in every single...
The question I asked, and I think we have to work around that. The question is that we have fine things and ideas in the documents like what you have.
It is the persons who draft or draw these policies.
But we're not able to implement them.
If they have the understanding, then they know that in drafting these policies, they ought to be able to put in implementation strategies. Most of our policy documents do not have implementation strategies. One. Two, they do not even fall in line. You would understand, you would take the document and a two-strand abasa. You understand? This one is there, this one is there. They are not even able to chain them together. They are not able to synchronize. Now, a quick one. On Alaji, if you go to Ghana Web...
Who is Alaji?
Alaji Bawumia.
If you go to Ghana Web. February 14th, December 2028. The Minister for 2018, sorry. Hey, me pen in terms of So Minister for Communication and MP for Ablekuma West constituency, Osla Owusu Ekofo, on Friday donated about 200 computers to schools in Ablekuma West constituency under the Ghana Investment Fund for Electronic Communications Cyber Laboratory Project. She said, and I guess this is the entire story. Now, as part of the story, it says that I am working with the Minister of Finance to make sure that hopefully by 2020, we can put a smartphone in the hands of all citizens in this country. Even in our rural communities, it should be possible to manufacture and assemble those devices locally. She made this promise in 2018.
You mean the 2024 promise by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was made in 2018?
It's not new. And he's not the propounder of it. Osla mentioned it. And listen, hey, Roland, you asked a very important question. To what importance, to what impact would the sharing of mobile phones have on the ordinary citizen?
Well, somebody said, why not?
Now, if we have,
if
we have been able to put up an assembling plant in Ghana or a manufacturing plant in Ghana, and for that matter, we want to actually promote the manufacturing, the numbers of that assembling plant, and actually creating that market for that assembly to create jobs and to retain the monies we are going to take out there to go and buy these phones, then fair enough. Now we have a trade and industry minister who managed to bring 5 automobile assembling plants to this country. We assemble Toyota, Nissan, VW,
Toyota, Nissan, VW.
There are 5. Roland, we have when Alan was minister, he had proposed as part of the automobile development policy that government agencies who buy most of these cars should buy them from these local assembly plants. What has happened to it? Now we can't have these plants being built and yet still encourage the importations of these products into our country. Then what would we be doing? So Roland, if Alaji is saying that he wants every Ghanaian to hold a smartphone, what is his plan of having assembly plants in Ghana? Literally, you will notice that it is just a campaign promise. When he made the statement, he himself, he was laughing because the phone he is holding, he knows is more than 10,000 Ghana cedis. The phone he is holding, he knows is more than 10,000 Ghana cedis. Now, if you go to Circle and you go to buy a phone worth about 500 Ghana cedis that our brothers and sisters are used to and are using in our homes, in our villages and all that, what research? Which of the digital platforms
can you use that
phone
for? Okay.
Let's be real. Ghanaians are discerning. Ghanaians have grown over the years. It is not just about making promises. It is about making Ghanaians know that indeed you are in for their well-being.
Okay.
As it stands, as for the due, they would make points. You see how Malik is always hyper and talking point. And tone here. He had his turn. And Nanado and the NPP has had their turn. For over 32 years, these two political parties have been playing chaskili with Ghanaians. Because they know, you see, as they're speaking, they know. And they feel that, Ghana for the say, if not, Alaji wouldn't have gone to say that he's going to give every Ghanaian a smartphone. Have we actually fulfilled the promise of every child having a computer or what was the other one's name? A tablet. Is that where we are getting into? tomorrow, I will not be surprised if we wake up in the morning and one of these deals would go and stand on a platform and says that they will be providing each Ghanaian a T-shirt to wear.
No, MPP has said that.
MPP have said that.
Napo said it.
No,
we don't do T-shirts.
So,
we
you see,
policies and jobs.
you see where we are going.
Exactly.
So, Roland, myself and you, Doctor here, Malik here, let's think about Ghana.
Okay.
Let's think about Ghana first. Let's think about how we're going to stabilize this economy. Let's think about how we're going to grow this economy. Let's think about how we are going to make this economy resilient and how we're going to make all of us prosperous. You see, when you have a stable, growing, resilient economy, automatically the economics will tell you that every person who lives within the cycles or the jurisdiction of that economy will be prosperous. Because you can afford food, you can afford healthcare, you can afford security, and there will be nothing to be scared of.
Okay.
And that is what Alan John Kojo-Chomanten is presenting to Ghanaians.
All right, let me just go through a couple of messages here. Some of us have been vindicated by your submissions. Hearing of you questioning the long-standing COVID-19 levy, for instance, and its usefulness today tells how bad Ghanaians have been exploited. I'm proud of you, Dr. Nyantichi, for adding your voice to today's economic mismanagement. Once your student, Carlos. Now, let me read this also. Master Planner Junior Kintampo, tell Malik that the biggest regret Ghanaians ever had, rather, is voting for Mahama in 2012. If someone needs to be advised to be serious, then it is NDC communicator like Malik. They don't communicate any better to convince the listeners aside name calling. And then I have landlord Bolga D line. Things fall apart in this country. Everything is in disarray and everyone is suffering, except people who are put at the helm of affairs to alleviate the suffering. Now, one this, one that. Landlord Bolga D line. Okay, so I have this one from Eric. Eric says he gave me a picture of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And says I should do a critical analysis and see if the ordinary Ghanaian, if you look at the Maslow hierarchy of needs, of course, you have to go from your physiological needs. I'm sure Doc also teaches that every day in his class. We all, especially those who have gone through some MBA classes and some of the basic will know safety and security, love and belonging. And that's what he was talking about, self-esteem, and then you self-actualize. And then, okay, so then also, let me just read two more. This one is coming from Kofi Kwating Amenim. It is better to give people broilers than phones on credit on any day. Ghanaians want what will help them put food on the table. All right. So, but just a one-liner for a minute from all of you.
You see, clearly...
Just a minute, please.
Clearly, the government has lost touch with the Ghanaian people, like we all have said on this platform. Whatever promises and policies Bawumia, Alhaji Bawumia has been professing, is not in sync with the needs of the Ghanaian people. I mean, he's lied from 2016. He promised students hot chocolate. You remember? He didn't fulfill it. One student, one tablet. UTV3, you did an expose. You are questioning students. They said they never received the tablets. He promised free Wi-Fi. Just yesterday, I was speaking to some senior high schools, and they said they worked for only 6 months and then crashed. Till date, they received any Wi-Fi. Bawumia promised to build 360 new senior high schools in this country. Nothing was done. As for the Northern Chiefs, he has lied to all of them. He lied to Yana. He said he was going to build an airstrip in Yendi. He was going to build an agric university. It was a lie. Recently, when he visited the Savulgu chief said, my friend, you came and deceived me. You're going to construct a road from here to your hometown, Wale Wale, and you're going to upgrade the Pont Tamale veterinary school to a university. You haven't done it. Almost all the chiefs have lied to. And so, yes, their policies are not in sync with the Ghanaian people. All we are pleading for, all we are asking, is that Ghanaians should pay attention to the policies that are being professed by President Mahama. They should listen to his transformational plans. They should listen to how he's going to reset the country and how he's going to put us back on track. That is where we'll get jobs to do in this country.
A minute for you.
Yeah, I think
as we sum this discussion.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the basic, is the most important thing for every Ghanaian and the expectation of every Ghanaian. Yeah, We want good health, education, security,
Perfect.
and then everybody will be okay.
Yes,
And jobs.
Yeah.
You said that.
Perfect.
Okay.
Roland,
Just a minute for you.
just when I was about, and then somebody sent me a text to remind me that one of the assembly plants that Alan Tremantin brought to Ghana, Suzuki, has actually.
Suzuki too has an assembling plant.
Oh,
Okay.
say Alan Wambedia grow. Is the NDC knows, and the MPP they know. I mean, he's the brain behind almost all the successful businesses and industries in this country. Suzuki and Uber came together. Suzuki is giving Uber some cars to distribute to their drivers. Now, it is going to be spread for 3 years, and they are paying a daily of about 120 Ghana cedis on it. So we're using 3 years to pay. This is what we mean by creating jobs. This is a practical example of the achievements of Alan John Kojo Tremantin. It is not about distributing of phones. You understand? If you want to distribute phones, I don't have a problem. But how do you go about it? Is that going to create jobs for the people? We are saying that the economy would only take shape when you have dealt with the macroeconomy, and Doctor is here, the stability of the currency, the exchange rate, the forex.
Okay.
If you have been able to have an industrial transformation, aggressively pursue industrial transformation. Now, in achieving an industrial transformation, it means that you should be able to feed the industries, meaning you have to have an aggressive agricultural revolution. And one other aspect that nobody looks at nowadays has to do with tourism. And that is what the great transformational plan by Alan Tremantin is.
Well, do you know MTN gives phones on credit already?
Yeah, I know that. I've mentioned
So
that
if you
several
take a
times.
phone of 8,000,
But those
you
are
pay
high-end
and
phones.
one CD,
Those are high-
how long will it take you to finish paying?
But Roland,
Even Vodafone,
Roland.
at the time Vodafone
They
was
give it
there.
already.
you have a
Absolutely.
housekeeper.
But I think he's talking about basic.
Roland, do you have a housekeeper?
So that you pay one CD a month.
No, I
So
can't
the
afford
one
the
CD,
house.
how many months
Do you
will
have a
it take
card
to pay
now?
for an
No, I can't
8,000 Ghana
afford.
CD phone?
Roland, you are refusing to respond to my question.
I can't afford.
Would you buy?
I don't have.
Would you buy that kind of phone?
Maxwell
Why you laugh?
Akpabli,
I'm
I was
No,
East
Bawumia
constituency.
is
So
a disaster.
to go for iPhone 15 Pro Max, which costs about 20,000, and I have to pay 1 Ghana cedi and 2 Ghana cedi for a month. I will have to finish paying in 20,000 months or 10,000 months.
So clearly, Bawumia
Besides,
has lost
was it
that.
not the same
man
Dr.
is
Bawumia
condemned.
who said every citizen will get a bank account
Yes.
some years back? What
Yes.
happened to that promise? All right, so thank you, gentlemen. Again, we're coming to you from a constituency near you. So we're in a community. We call it Community Manifesto. And with Community Manifesto, we go to a constituency near you. So a community in a constituency. Today, we are in the Tema East constituency, and we'll be live from the Shoko right there, having some great communication in the third hour. That will be from 9 o'clock, so about 9:30 we'll be live. Make sure you stick and stay up to then. We'll bring you the latest sports as well. But we're also telling you, thank you, gentlemen, for coming. Step into the world of...
We've agreed that Bawumia is unserious.
Step into the world of Dewa 539 for your chance to win big with Dewa Direct and Dewa Chop Money. Now with Dewa Direct, all you have to do is to make sure you dial *446#. You pick the numbers, the range in those numbers 1 to 39, winning 20 times your stake, 40 times and 400 times your stake. And then you win cash every evening at 7 p.m. On Sundays, the draw is on at 6 p.m. So early bets who also love early bets love Dewa Chop Money, and that will be at 10 a.m. where we have draws every morning. Again, dialing *446#. You choose range of the numbers 1 to 39. You win 20 times, 40 times, or 400 times your stake. You play online as well. So all the opportunities are given you at dewa-nla.com. But again, you can also dial *446#. Just in case you want to have some customer inquiries made, please call the following line: 055-6259-249 or 053-2479-879. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. All right, we're taking a break. We'll be right back.